Hi, welcome to my video on review 3 of System of Linear Equations, and it's on the videos numbers 25 to 30, and that's the word problems on interest, mixture, two-digit number, and the slope-intercept form. So let's review. Oh, just to mention, I treat all my reviews as a quiz where you have a total of 20. And notice I have 1 of 4 pages right here. The first one, I have 3 more that's behind on the back of this one. So if you want, you can have 3 pages or many pages you want, work with each problem and give yourself a score if you get them right, just to see how well you know about these word problems. Let's do some. $40,000 is invested into 2 bank accounts, 5% annually and 8% annually. The interest earned after 1 year is $2,300. Find the amount invested into each account. Well, what I do is I set up a box, and this is the box, and I'll divide it. Okay. And notice that we have interest, and the interest is calculated. Interest is principal times rate times time. So we have 2 bank accounts that we're putting in. So let's call this accounts. And the accounts are 5% and 8%. And the amount, let's call this the amount of interest that they earned is X, and for the 8% is Y. And the interest earned, so let's calculate the interest using this formula. So the interest earned is principal is X, the rate is 5%, and the time is 1 year. So that gives me 5% times X. And for this one right here, so let's calculate this one. So that's interest is 5% times X. And so we have Y is the amount. We have the rate as 8%. And we have 1 year, so that's 8% times Y. Oh, make that a Y. Better be careful. So now it says there's $40,000 invested into 2 bank accounts. Well, that means that X plus the amount, if you add up the X and the Y, you will get $40,000. And the interest earned is $2,300. So the interest is 5% of X plus 8% of Y. And the interest earned is $2,300. So we'll use these 2 equations, which is number 1 and number 2, to solve this problem. We have a percentage here, so let's work on this percentage. 5% is decimal 0.5, 8% is decimal 0.8, and 2,300. Notice the percentage changed to a decimal. Now, to eliminate the decimal, I'll multiply the equation by 100. 100 times decimal 0.5 gives me 5. 100 times decimal 0.8 gives me 8. And 100 times 2300, when you multiply by 100, you add on 2 zeros. So now we have 2 new equations, and the equations are X plus Y equals 40,000. That's the same ones we had before. But let's take this new equation as number 3 now, because we revised it. And we get another 0. So we want to probably do elimination. So let's multiply this equation by -5 and multiply this equation by 1. When we do, we get a -5x minus 5y equals negative 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you multiply by 1, it doesn't change it. 1 times this equation keeps it the same, 2, 3, 0, 0. And because we're eliminating, because I multiply by negative 5, I'm eliminating the x because it's plus minus. So 3y equals 30,000 when you subtract. You divide by 3. Y's cancel, and I get 10,000. And now we're going to sub 10,000 for y into, and the easiest equation to go into is number 1. X plus y equals 40,000. So y is 10,000, so I'll put 10,000 in the place of y. And so x equals 40,000 minus the 10,000. So x is 30,000. So the amount that we put, so the amount in the 5% account is, 5% is x, so it's 30,000. Make that 30,000. And the amount in the 8% is 10,000. Again, x is the 5% and y is the 8%. And that, so 4 marks, give you 2 marks for the method, 2 marks for coming up with these two equations, and solving it and getting the right answers is 2 marks, 4 marks in total. Okay, another type of problem we did was the one with the ally and mixture. And the way I handled this one is I draw 3 cups as if I'm mixing the cups together, pouring, what I'm doing, I'm taking these 2 cups quantities and pouring it into this one. So it says an ally is 30% copper, another is 80% copper. How much of each ally should be used to produce 100 grams of ally that is 60% copper? So we're taking the 30% copper and we're taking the 80% copper and we're going to mix them together to produce a 60% copper. And how much we're going to use, we're going to call this one X amount, this one is a Y amount, and when we mix these together we're going to come up with 100 grams. So that's the way, very easy to write down the problem like this. So the top equation is X plus Y is 100. When you add these 2 quantities up, you get 100. When you take 30% of X and add on 80% of Y, you will get 60% of 100. So the percentage of copper is 30% of this amount. Percentage of copper here is 80% of this amount. And notice that we got 60% of 100. So there's 60, really 60% of 100 is going to be 60 grams. So I can make this change. So 30% is decimal 30. 80% is decimal 8. 60% is decimal 6. So that gives me, if I want, tidy up the equation. So decimal 6 times 100 is 60. So as I said, 60% of 100 is 60. Now I have 2 new equations, or let's call this equation 1 now, and let's call this equation 2. So I have an X plus Y equals 100, and I have decimal 3x plus decimal 8y equals 60. If I wanted to, I could have multiplied this one by 10 to get rid of the decimals, but if I didn't want to, I could multiply this one by a negative decimal 3 and multiply this one by 1, and that gives me a negative decimal 3x minus a negative decimal 3y equals a negative decimal 3 is 30. And multiplying by 1, I get decimal 3. X plus decimal 8, y equals 60. And I eliminating the x's plus and minus, so I get decimal 5, y equals 30. And I divide by decimal 5 into both numbers, cancel out. So that gives me 30 divided by decimal 5 is 60. If you use your calculator, or you can go decimal 5 into 30. The decimal in the 30 is to the right, so we move the decimal one place, move the decimal one place. 5 into 3 can't go, 5 and 30 goes 6, we get a 30. Bring down a 0, 5 into 0 goes 0. If we use a calculator, I just worked it out. Now we have to sub 60 for y into number 1. So x plus y equals 100 is equation 1. Y is 60. Y is 60, so we put 60 in the place of y. X is 100 minus 60. X is 40. So it says how much of each. So we have 30%. So there's 30% has 30% is x, so 30% got 40 grams, and the 80% you use 60 grams. And again, the equations is 2 marks, and working it out is 1 mark each, so you get 4 altogether. Total of 8 for that page. Okay, let's continue. Now we have a 2-digit word problem. One of the word problems to discuss, the types of word problems to discuss. Let's see if we can handle this one. Remember, pause the video and work out your answer to see if you're going to get it right. When you pause your video, you work it out, then press play to see if you worked it through correctly. The 10th digit of a 2-digit number is 5 times the unit digit less 2. If the digits are reversed, the original number is 54 more than the number with the digits reversed. Find the original number. Now remember, to do these, you should have reviewed the video on digits of 2 numbers. And a reminder, I do a variety of many types of word problems because my YouTube channel is going in relation to the whole world. But your teacher might only do a select one. So if you're only doing select ones, then only do the ones that your teacher's giving you to do. So let's let T be the 10s digit, and let U be the units digit. We got a 2-digit number, but just to make a 2-digit number, remember now, a 2-digit number is 10T plus U. And reversed is 10U plus T. Have to keep that in mind. So if you got a 34, 34 is 3 times 10 plus 4. So the T is the 10s digit. So let's read. The 10s digit of a 2-digit number is 5 times the units digit less 2. So the 10s digit is T, is 5 times the units digit less 2. So that's one equation. If the digits are reversed, the original number, well, the original number is 10T plus U. The original number is equal sign. 54 more than means add on. So 54 more than the number with the digits reversed. So the number with the digits reversed is 10U plus T. And it's 54 more. So the original number is 54 more than the number with the digits reversed. So let's tidy this up. We have a 10t minus t plus u minus 10u equals 54. I moved all the variables to the left. I get 9t minus 10u equals 54. So now I have, this is equation 1, and I'm going to call this equation 2. So let's write down, well, I don't have to because this one is already solved for t. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sub for t into here, and I'm going to do a substitution. So I'm going to sub 5u minus 2 4t into 1. So 9t, better be careful, 9t minus 9u equals, if I say I'm going to sub that into 1, no, hey, this is already number 1, so I have to sub it into 2. So if I solve 1 is already solved, so I sub it into 2. If I solve 2, I have to sub it into 1. You don't sub into the same one that you just solved. Now I'm subbing in for t, so 5u minus 2 minus 9u equals 54. Multiply 45u minus 18 minus 9u equals 54. Tidy that up and I get 9u, 45, that's a 9 from that is 36u equals 54 plus 18. So 36u equals 72. So when I divide by 36, u becomes 2. Now I found a units digit, which is 2, so I'm going to sub 2 for u into. Now I can put it into either equation, but this is the better one to sub it into because it's already solved for t. So t equals 5u minus 2. So t equals, u is 2. So t is, multiply first, 10 minus 2. So t is 8. And so the number, let's go down and put down the number. So the original number is 10t plus u. So the tens digit is 8. Units digit is 2. That's 80 plus 2. So the original number is 82. And again, if you have your equations, 1 mark for this equation and another 2 marks for this equation, because if you can't get this equation right, then you're finished. That's 3 marks there, and you have a mark for each of the answers, so 5 marks in total. And number 4 is dealing with the slope-intercept form, so I just made the question a little bit different. A line P is represented by 3x plus y equals negative 6. Line H passes through 1, 6 and negative 1, 2. Find the coordinates of the point of intersection of the lines P and H. Well, we have the equation for line P. What we need is the equation for line H. So let's look at line. We're going to look at line H. To get the equation of a line, we need y equals mx plus b. Remember, m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So we have 2 points. So let's take the 2 points. Here's the 2 points. So to get the equation of a line, so these 2 points, I'm going to label this as x1, y1, x2, y2. So to get the equation of a line, I need the slope. So the slope m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 2 minus y1 is 6, x1 is negative 1 minus 1. So that gives me a negative 4 over negative 2, which is 2. So the slope of the line is 2. Now, if you have your slope and you want to get your y-intercept, so what you can do now is take one of these points, put the slope. So I'm going to take the point 1 comma 6, and I'm going to take my slope of 2. So if I write down my equation of the line, which is y equals mx plus b, y is 6, m is 2, x is 1. So the unknown left is my b. So 6 equals 2 plus b. So I'm going to leave the b there and work this way. I could move the b over and make it a minus, but leave the b there. And that's a 4. So the equation that I have of h, the equation of h is y equals, the slope is 2, and the y-intercept is 4. So this is the equation for h, and the equation for p is 3x plus y equals negative 6. So notice I have h and I have p. Notice that h is already solved for y. So why don't we sub this y value into here? So I'm going to sub, and this is the equation. We call it equation 1 if you want. I'm going to sub 2x plus 4 for y into number 1. And so we're going to sub it in for y, so 3x plus 2x plus 4 equals negative 6. So y is 2x plus 4, so I put 2x plus 4 right here. There it is. And I solve. So 5x plus 4 equals negative 6. 5x equals negative 6 minus 4. 5x equals negative 10. Divide by 5. X is negative 2. And since I have x is negative 2, now I got to go and get my y. So I'm going to sub negative 2 for x into, and I can sub it into this equation right here. So I'm going to sub it into y equals 2x plus 4. So when you put x is negative 2 right here, then they're all on one side, so it's easy to get the y value. So x is negative 2. And so y equals negative 4 plus 4. So y is 0. So the coordinates of the point is x is negative 2, y is 0. That's the coordinates of the point. And again, there's 5 marks. If you worked out the equation, which is this, you get 2 marks. If you solve the equation by a certain method, you get a mark. And then if you've got the 2 answers, you get another mark. So it's 5 altogether, so 10 for that page. So notice that I reviewed the equation of a line, which is extremely important in math. Always keep reviewing. And this is an equation that's also on the slope-intercept form. 2 companies lease space for an office with the same floor area. Company A, annual fee of $1,000 plus $500 a month. Company B is annual fee of $1,400 plus $450 a month. When will both be the same cost, and what will be the cost? So we always start off, let M be the number of months, and we're going to let C be the cost that they're going to pay. So company A has a cost. Company A is paying $500 a month plus $1,000, so $1,000 is like your intercept. That's starting off at, and $500 a month is your slope. So it's 500 times m. M is, or I could call, instead of m, I could have said probably t instead of that. Let's call, I got m per month, so again we're looking at y equals mx plus b. So let's use a t here so we won't get confused. I know what's happening, but I don't want. So t is time. T is the number of months. Again, so we won't get confused. T, that's a t right here. Okay. I don't want to get confused with the m and slope, so let's use the t for time. And company B, the cost of the plan is starts off at $1,400 and it goes up $450 for each month t. So that's the two equations that represent each of the plans. Now we're going to solve this. Notice we had both equations solved for c, so why not let 500t plus 1,000 equal 450t plus 1,400. So we're going to solve this. Move the variables to the left. Move the numbers to the right. Change your signs. So I get 50t equals 400. Divide by 50. And t is 8. The number of months is 8. So I can sub the 8 back into either equation. So let's sub 8 for t into, and again, if you call this equation 1, you call that equation 2, just to distinguish them. Let's sub it into 1. So c equals 500t plus 1,000. So t is 8. Sub it in. Continue to work. 4,000 plus 1,000. So the cost is 5,000. And that's $5,000. So it says when will both be the same cost? So it's after 8 months. There'll be the same cost. After 8 months, the cost will be $5,000. So that's when is the number of months, 8, and the cost is going to be 5,000. Again, 4 marks, 1 for each equation. It's 2 marks, and solving it 2 marks, 4 in total. Number 6, a little different problem on linear equations. And also we have a triangle ABC similar to triangle PQR. AB is that, BC is that, C is 15, PQ is Y, QR is X, PR is 5. Find A, B, and BC, numerical values. So we have a triangle. So we have similar triangles. We have A, B over P, Q equals B, C over QR equals AC over PR. Because the triangles are similar, then these ratios are going to be true. Now that means we can fill in the equation fill in these proportions with these expressions. So AB is 3x plus 3. PQ is Y. BC is 2y plus 1. BC is 2y plus 1. QR is X. AC is 15. And ACPR is 5. So we have 3 ratios equal. So 15 over 5 can reduce to 3 over 1. Make it easier. But if you keep the numbers higher, You got to do a little bit more work. A little bit. Now, because we have the equation, let's come up with three proportions, or two proportions. So we have 3x plus 3 over y equals 3 over 1. We also have 2y plus 1 over x equals 3 over 1. So notice if I let this one equals 3 over 1 and let this fraction equal 3 over 1, I have two equations with x and y. Cross multiply, 3x plus 3 equals 3y. And cross multiply here, 2y plus 1 equals 3x. So if I line the equations up, 3x minus 3y equals negative 3, and negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 1. I have the two equations perfect. They're all lined up, so I'm going to do them by elimination. So I'm writing down the equations again. S equals negative 3 equals negative 1. So these two equations, notice when I have them written down, the x's are I don't have to multiply. The x's automatically cancel out. So I get a negative y equals negative 4. So I divide by negative 1. Y is 4. And if y is 4, let's sub into whatever equation you want. I can sub into this one. So 2y plus 1 equals 3x. So 2 times 4 plus 1 equals 3x. 8 plus 1 equals 3x. 9 equals 3x. Divide by 3, and I get x equals 3. So I have y is 4, x is 3. And it says find AB. Well, AB is, let's see where AB is. AB is 3x plus 3. So x is 3, so 3. Put 3 in the place of x. 9 plus 3, 12. And I also want to find BC. BC is 2y plus 1. Y is 4, so sub 4 in. 8 plus 1 is 9. So I found the two lengths of 12 and 9. And there's 7 marks. So if you came up with the ratios, you get 2 marks. If you came up with the two equations, you get 2 marks. If you work them out, you get 2 marks, and you get the answers. You get a mark. Judge yourself. 7 in total, and add them up. I have 11, and we have all the problems reviewed. And if you did, go back to the first page, total up all your pages, and when you total up all your pages, put the number over 20, and then put the number over 20. That should have been 20. What? I got a 29. I forgot to put my loop on my 9. I can't add. Being a math teacher, and can't add correctly. That was supposed to be a 9. So take your total and put it over 29. Divide the denominator into the numerator. Get a decimal, move your decimal 2 places to the right to get your percent. And hopefully you did well on your review. I'm always reviewing the concepts that we learn. When you learn something earlier in math, you keep reviewing it over and over, and that brings you with a better understanding. If you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, because more videos are coming your way. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.